Yes, I think we're live. Good morning. Good morning. Excuse me. I don't, I don't know where that came from. Excuse me. Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. I'm just reaching for my drink. Did you have this vision of me coming right in front of you then? It's got to be, my face looming in front of you. And just reach for my drink here. So good morning. It's May. It's May. It's May. It's May. It's May. And it's my birthday month, and we are coming to the end of our 25th anniversary of the Eagle and the Rose. Let me just have a little sip of this. Ooh, I know. Ooh, but it's so good. It's nice and sharp and icy and good. All right. So I know most of you think I'm drinking orange juice, but you would be wrong. It looks like orange juice, though, doesn't it? But do you know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm not allowed to eat oranges or drink orange juice. Oxalates. I don't know if any of you looked up the word oxalates, but that's what I have to avoid at all times. But strangely enough, I can eat satsumas and drink juices of different kinds, no berries, of course, and that is tangerine juice. So I get my lovely sharp drink. I'm rambling on. I'm rabbiting on. I'm giving everybody a chance to get on the show, plug in, jump on, hop on, whatever it is you do. Before I say yes, it is May. I don't even know what day it is today. I don't know what the date is. However, here we are. The spirit world sees all, and they do. And standing next to me, as always, to my right side here is my spirit guide, Grey Eagle. And somewhere in Vermont, hello, somewhere in Vermont, we have Chris. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. It's Cinco de Mayo today.
Oh, it is.
And we just passed May the 4th be with you day yesterday.
Oh, really?
We did.
No
Are
idea.
you a Star Wars fan? Did you ever watch that show?
Oh, maybe May the Force be with you.
Well, because yesterday was May 4th, they call it May the 4th be with you.
All right, okay then. If you say so. I did like Star Wars. I loved, I used to every night that we had, I'm not sure if it was Star Wars or something similar, the one with Kirk and Spock, and some of you are saying, oh my God, she doesn't know that that's Star Wars. But what I used to do is we would have it on TV in England. This is going to show you how old I am, right? We used to have it on TV, and I loved it. Was one of my favorite programs to watch. So I would make sure I always had a tray with a bowl of soup and some toast or crackers or something like that, and I would settle myself down, and Star Wars would come on, and I would eat my dinner and watch Star Wars. So yes, but I had no idea that the 4th had anything to do, or yesterday had anything to do with it. So anyway, I was going to say something then, and it's gone out of my head. This week, our angel action is always about. Oh, shall we start again? Yes, let's start again. Good morning, everybody. It is May the 5th. It must be May the 5th today. Anyway, today, or this week, our angel action is about making a little piece of heaven. And in our angel actions book, for those of you who have it, you will know it talks about, because May is the month of flowers. May is the month of the spring. May is the month where we're celebrating. And in the book, it suggests that you make a little piece of heaven, either through gardening. If you can't get out, you can get your gardening books, or you can put on a TV show. There's so many shows about gardening. And what you do when you're doing all of this is you think about all of the people you love who you'd like to share your garden with. And I think it's a good exercise to think about the people in the spirit world you love, and sort of maybe put their names or their faces in amongst the flowers that you're creating when you're designing your little piece of heaven, when you're designing your your garden. Now, some people might think, yeah, I'm not going to do flowers. I think I'll go in the kitchen. My little piece of heaven is going to be making pies and all the rest of it. And if that's what you want to do, then that's what you should do. Those of you who have grannies who used to cook and make bread and create all those amazing kitchen smells, it's easy to visualize people in that circumstance as well. When when my father died, he died actually on April the 13th. And of course, it was a great time because April, as we all know, because spring is coming up, it's a great time for planting. And so I remember going out and buying the most beautiful malus tree. That's MALUS, malus tree, which is a cherry blossom, but it's a dark pink, a deep pink blossom, beautiful blossoms, and an almost russet red trunk that it has. And I remember planting this little sapling, not much more than a sapling, in the garden for my daddy. And as the years went past, and I would go and I would plant flowers around, I used to plant snapdragons around the base of the tree because my daddy always had snapdragons in his garden. And I would just go and I watched the tree grow and get bigger and bigger. And it went from this little sapling to the most gorgeous, beautiful, huge cherry blossom tree, which branches spread wide and high. And every spring, the tree was filled with blossoms. And so, every time I went by that tree, thoughts of my daddy would be there with me, and I would, talk to him and say, what do you think to it? It's blossoming, it's growing. I think there is a place for our loved ones in our gardens. When a patient of mine, Marjorie, died, Marjorie's favourite flowers were pansies. And I remember after she passed, planting pansies in amongst the rose bushes in my garden. And I can remember one early, well, it was late winter, not quite spring. Somewhere, probably it would be around February, there was snow on the ground. And I remember going and walking, inspecting the garden, looking for any new shoots or any sign of any new shoots. And I can remember peeking out of the snow, of all things, was this little beautiful cluster of bright yellow pansies. And I immediately thought of Marjorie and sent my love to Marjorie. I think that, for me, flowers are a perfect garden, a perfect piece of heaven, bringing those we love who are in heaven, bringing them into our garden, bringing them into our lives. So I think it's a very great exercise, and it's a fabulous angel exercise because it does a few things. It makes us feel good because we get the joy and the pleasure of planting and watching things grow. And we also get the pleasure of thinking of our loved ones and knowing and inviting them to come with us to stroll our gardens, inviting them to come with us and to be a part of our lives. So I think it's a great, great exercise. Chris, how are you doing with this exercise?
I'm in the formulation stage of my drawing. So I, of course, have many people that I love and miss in the spirit world. So I'm not even sure 3 spaces is big enough. I think it's interesting because I also think about a future place to live and how I might design that for real. So in my mind, not only is the exercise happening, I'm tilling the garden now with the power of thought of what eventually could be.
And you're designing on paper, and you're not an artist, are you? I mean, are you? Well, you might be.
No, I'm not an artist, but I can scratch on paper with the best of them.
You can draw little stick figures and things like that. You don't have to be an artist to create your garden. You just have to just think about the colors that you would like, the people that you enjoy. When I think of my daddy, I'm just trying to think of what color I would associate with my father, and I've never done that before, but the colour green very much comes to mind when I'm thinking of my father. A sort of a deep, warm green, a comforting green, a solid green. My father was a very solid and reliable man. He was tough as tough could be, but he had a depth to him. So I'm thinking, when I think of him, I'm thinking, of the deep greens of the leaves of some of the plants that we have. And um, every time I have to tell you, every time I go out of my front door, my gardenias are, I mean, you have never seen blossoms like them. They are huge, they are everywhere, these beautiful white blossoms. And every time I go out and I go past the window towards the driveway, this incredible perfume sort of just floats around me. It's beautiful. And when I go into the back, by the back of the house, I have a hedge, an absolutely beautiful hedge of jasmine, and it's evergreen jasmine, which means that they have small leaves, um, and they grow sort of a little bit like a vine. I think they may be a vine. I have the beautiful jasmine, white flowers, and every time I go, whichever door I go out of, I'm assailed by the perfumes. The jasmine is beautiful, and the gardenias are beautiful, and so I'm very fortunate in that I have this unbelievable, sort of small piece of heaven at my fingertips. So I can do this physically, in a physical way. But many people can't get out, and many people don't have gardens. Of course, you do perhaps have windowsills, or you can put some potted somethings or another in your kitchen, or wherever you want to grow your plants. But even if it's only a drawing on paper, get some crayons. Don't be afraid of making a mess of it. You don't have to be an artist, just lots of blotches of colour. And as you're doing that, think of the loved ones that you have, that you would like to join you in your garden, and just write their names in there, or sort of put colours in there that associate with them. Just bring life and colour and joy. It reminds me, actually, I recently was having a consultation with a lady who, well, a couple of wonderful ladies actually, who they're expecting a new baby, and one of them said to me, we're excited about this new baby. Can you tell us what kind of energy this new baby will have? And immediately Gregor began to describe the colours that are going to surround, and do already in the womb surround, this beautiful child. And so it's amazing how much colour, how much energy, how much vibrancy there is around, in our lives and around us all. So a little piece of heaven is your angel's task for this week. Okay, Chris, wait a minute. Let me get on my serious list. Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there, Chris?
We wouldn't be here if there wasn't anybody there. So
Oh,
we're
we would.
grateful for all the people who are
Hey,
showing up.
we would be here. We'd be chatting to each other. We'd be doing this with each other, wouldn't we? Anyway,
We
but
absolutely could.
we are very grateful for all of you joining us, watching us, and inspiring us to do the best that we can do. Go ahead, Chris.
So I just posted the link to your Instagram account in case people who are showing up now and in the future watching your show need it, because
Okay.
we would really love comments to the things that you post on Instagram. I think the last Instagram posting that we did was about grief, and we asked a question: what is the best thing someone did for you or said to you after the loss of a loved one? And what is the one thing you wish people would stop doing? So we'd love to hear your responses on the Instagram page.
Well, let me just say about Instagram. We had so many followers on Instagram, and then some very determined person, for whatever reasons they had, hacked into it, and we couldn't get them out. So we had to recently start a new Instagram page because the old one was completely wrecked and destroyed. I don't know why people do these things. They've obviously got nothing better to do, and you've got to feel sad for people who have nothing better to do than to try and destroy what somebody else is doing. But anyway, Instagram is up and running now, and Chris has got the link there. Now, Chris, when we asked that question, what is the best thing that anyone did for you? I think we did that. We asked that in a cracking up session. So if anybody wants to go check out our cracking up session with my two girlfriends, Kay and Kay, really, truly, I don't have, you can't make it up, can you? Anyway, if you want to go check that out, you can do. You'll find it on YouTube. Cracking up is spelt K for K, K-R-A for me, K, cracking up. So cracking up is spelled K-R-A-K-I-N-G. Cracking up is the thing that we do with my lovely friends Kay and Kay, and we have a blast, and we just chat, and people can ask us questions, and I call us the three old ladies, the three old English ladies. British ladies would be more true of me to say. Anyway, and I couldn't think actually in that moment. When I was asked the question, what is the best thing somebody ever did for you? I sort of couldn't actually think. But since then, I've kicked myself again and again and again, because obviously the best thing that anyone did for me was to give me my daughter, and the best thing that my daughter has ever done for me is to give me my grandson. So I should have said that, but they are the very best things that ever happened to me. And so aside from that, and aside from the obvious, which is our children, our grandchildren, what have you, what is then the next thing that you can think of? What is the best thing that somebody's ever done for you? I don't think we mentioned what is the worst thing, Chris. I don't remember that.
Well, the Instagram post has everything to do with grief. During grief, after you've lost someone, what were people doing for you that, perhaps uplifted or surprised you or somehow made it better? And then, of course, you have people thinking they're saying something that's helpful. And I know one person had already responded saying, somebody said, "Oh, you're young, you'll find somebody else." So something that you absolutely should not say, or that somebody said something to you. I'd really prefer to see more positives in this posting, but negatives also help, because people always say, "What do I say when I, go to a church service or a wake or something like that? How can I actually help this person or this family?" So we're looking for feedback.
We are also sort of planning, Chris, we were talking about it earlier on. We're planning on using Instagram as a little bit of a problem solving arena. So at some point in the next few months, we're going to be asking people, what problem do you have that we might be able to help you with? What is the problem that you have? What are you suffering the most with? What is the thing that is irritating you most about life? What is the problem that you have that we can help you to solve? Because I think that, where do we go for help with our problems? We have very limited choices, I think. Certainly we have very limited choices in going to ask for help to solve our problems to someone who we can trust, who we know can absolutely help us, rather than lead us on a merry dance in the wrong direction. So we're going to be putting that even in the next week or two. We could do, couldn't we, Chris? I mean, we don't even have to wait a few months, but that's for Chris and I to decide later on. But we want to have it a little bit like, I think of when Chris and I were talking, I was thinking about, years ago. And I think even now, today, in every magazine, there is a dear somebody, a dear Abby or a dear Anne or a dear so and so. We write in, my husband is having an affair, what should I do? My wife is having an affair, what should I do? Um, my my husband doesn't like something, or my wife doesn't like something. It's not going to be just about husbands and wives. It's going to be my child has this habit of, or my sister drives me crazy because she does so and so. Where can we go for those things? And years and years ago, we used to be able to write, and probably still now, I'm sure there are magazines who have that. We used to call them the agony aunt, didn't we? And I don't quite see myself as an agony aunt on the one hand, but on the other hand, I'm often play the role of agony aunt because I'm really good at it. Because between myself, Grey Eagle, and the spirit world, we're really, really able to help people with their problems, not just their deep-seated problems, but the regular, silly, everyday problems that come along as well. So we're going to be doing some of that. How about that?
Well, we have our friends now on LinkedIn now that we're able to go live, and there's a question from LinkedIn that we'll go to soon. But you have sat with a group, a mastermind group, and gone through a number of people over a couple of hours, and they presented you with, you know, that perhaps their business idea, their business goal, and what are the things that are stumbling blocks for them for achieving that. And you're very good at that, and you can help all kinds of groups like that. Besides what you do with soul signs and helping organizational management, help iron out those difficulties between people who work with each other. So, for our LinkedIn folks, keep that in mind.
I know that also the simple but major problem that writers have, as a writer myself, right? I'm fortunate that I've never suffered this, but I have some idea of what it must be like to get writer's block, where you're writing a book, you're going along famously, you're doing brilliantly, and all of a sudden, and you seize up. And there can be various reasons for that. Sometimes it's outside influences, the family, the noise, there's maybe a trauma or a drama or trauma going on in your life, so you can't focus properly on the book. But there is also what is honestly called writer's block, which is where everything's quiet, everything's running smooth, but your mind gets literally seized up with writer's block. And just the simple thing of writer's block, with Grey Eagle's help, with the help of the spirit world, we can figure out why you've got writer's block. Of course, whether you choose to do something about it, alter the situation, change the situation, but I think that there are so many things that happen to us and we don't know why they happen to us, or we don't know, another very common thing is, why do I always choose the wrong man or the wrong woman? Here I am again in my third divorce, my fifth divorce, or whatever it is. I keep doing the same thing repetitively. Or people in business, I can't stand the girl who works next to me. What am I supposed to do about that? Silly things, small things, and important things as well. The spirit world is able to help. We're able to problem solve. So we thought that we might try on LinkedIn, and welcome, by the way, everybody, on LinkedIn, and we thought also Instagram and various other different mediums that we can use. We thought we would have should we try the agony aunt? Or I don't like that at all. So we thought we could do an Ask Rosemary. How about that? What do you think to that, Chris?
Well, I think about, the type of consultations that you do with people. Obviously you do the spiritual consultation where somebody is looking to connect with a loved one. But then you also have your life force consultation, where somebody comes to you because they have a challenge that they just can't figure out. And the challenge can be in any facet in life. So, what you can do is, well, I'll let you say what you can do.
Well, let me first say, whichever type of consultation you have with me, it's always connecting with the spirit world in one way or another, even if it's just Grey Eagle and I. But people come to me because they want to connect with their father, their mother, their brother, their sister, their loved ones, whoever they are. Okay, which is great, and that works beautifully. But when we have made that connection, and it's a good connection, and this is why I call what I do when we book with people, I call them consultations, because that's exactly what it is. I have a one-on-one, or sometimes three-on-one, or depending on how many people in the spirit world come, but we have a connection and we have conversations. I hear them, they're telling me different things, and they're listening to what we're saying. So it's definitely, we're having a consultation because I'm consulting the spirit world. So in every case, and it's very rare that this doesn't happen, don't think it has ever happened. In every single case, the people who come to me for the consultation have problems. The problem might be about diet. It might be a problem about health. It might be a problem about a job or work environment, or a business. Think of any problem. It might be a problem about their kids. It might be a problem about a specific child. And don't think it's just we're talking to the spirit world who are saying, oh, we're well and happy, and yes, it's wonderful here, and we see. It's not like that at all. Our consultations go in depth to sort out the problems and the issues that people have with their daily lives. And the spirit world is able to, literally see a problem, see it clearly for what it really is, and really help us to figure out what we need to do to solve the problem or to help with the problem. And it's amazing how it works. So I'm in consultation with the spirit world, as well as I'm in consultation with the people who come to me. But mostly, and most importantly, I'm talking to the spirit world. And if I make a suggestion, let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a problem or an issue. Let's say somebody has an issue of diet, and I might say, well, have you thought about this or this? Someone in the spirit world will interfere and say, as they should, not in, you know what I mean, they'll jump in and say, no, she can't do that, Rosemary, because she's tried that before, so that doesn't work. So I'm able to say to the person, okay, your father, your mother tells me that's no good for you because that doesn't work. Then I'm able to connect with Grey Eagle, who says, yes, but this is what will work. So and then the spirit world, we all join in together to fix the problem or to solve the problem, or, well, mostly to give you the answers so that you can fix your problems. I think that's fair to say, right, Chris?
Absolutely. So I wanted to get to Hannah, who's writing in from LinkedIn.
Hi, Anna.
Hannah says, I wanted to let Rosemary know that she told me last year I would be working in human rights. When I was in Peru, she told me this after contacting a passed on family member. I'm
Okay.
I am currently working in that industry and I didn't know I would be, which Rosemary knew before me.
Well, Hannah, yippee! I hope you're happy with this. Now, here's the thing. And this illustrates the situation that I'm trying to tell people about. I didn't know. I love the fact that everybody says, oh gosh, she's so wonderful, she's so amazing, she's so wise, she's so this and this. But the truth is that I actually didn't know, Hannah, until your family in the spirit world told me. and Grey Eagle confirmed it. That's why Grey Eagle's there to help. He helps the families in the spirit world, and he helps me to deal with the people I'm talking with here. So I don't know. I know I sound like I'm the oracle, that I can look into my crystal ball and I can see all this stuff, but that's not actually how it is. Those in the spirit world are able to guide, to steer, to tell us about the opportunities that are coming up for us. Whether we choose to take those opportunities or not is often up to us. Sometimes, though, and Hannah, it sounds like I told you one of the inevitables in your life. Sometimes they tell us of the inevitables that are going to come, that the opportunities that are going to come, that we will absolutely we will take. So this is not just about me talking to the dead who aren't dead. We know, I cringe when I say that. Talking to people in the spirit world who then are able to, and usually 99.99999% of the time, our loved ones in the spirit world can't wait to help us to solve our problems and to solve our issues. And oh gosh, she's not listening. No, she's going the wrong way again. Can you imagine being so frustrated? There you are, watching your loved ones here on this earth making the same mistakes over and over again. Oh, we must drive them crazy, don't you think? We really must. But give them an opportunity and they will help you and guide you and steer you. So it's much more than, oh, don't worry, they're fine, they made it over, they're there, and everybody's happy, and they're in heaven, and so you can relax. No, that's not what we do. We do a little bit of that, which is, of course, what we need to do. But the intensity and the range of subjects and the range of problems that we come across, very often helping people through litigation, very often had a lovely, well, I've had many clients who have been going to court either because their husband didn't pay their alimony, or they have an issue with child custody, or you name it. And the spirit world can literally talk us through and advise us what we need to do and advise us how we need to approach things. And I mean, my daughter's always calling me and saying, what does Grey Eagle say? She uses us not only as a bouncing board, but as a problem solver as well. Not that she always listens, but, those in the spirit world can help so much. So we thought, I'm not an agony aunt, but I know that I must come across as an agony aunt so many times. But I am, let's say, have the ability to help to solve even the most insignificant of problems, which is brilliant. So we thought we'd do more of that. So please don't view me as an agony aunt. I'm just a person talking to the spirit world who are telling me things that are going to help you. How about that? That works, right, Chris?
Absolutely. So one of your friends on Facebook, Penny, is saying, Rosemary, you're awesome. My friend's son, 31 years old, just died. Is it possible if Grey Eagle can let us know if he's okay? It's so hard to see her so incredibly broken and at a loss. I also understand if it's not possible.
Actually, just hold on 1 second here, because I'm listening to Grey Eagle, who has his hand on my shoulder. Is it Penny, did you say?
Yes.
So Penny, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm not really, never really sure what I'm doing, but I'm just going with the flow here. First of all, let me just say I'm so very sorry for your friend for the loss of her boy. And yes, and I'm looking in my way. I'm looking and standing next to Grey Eagle. I'm Oh, this is going to be very brief. We don't have time for me to do it properly, which is always frustrating to me, which is why I often say, no, I'm not going to do this because I want to get my teeth into it more. But anyway, I will tell you what I'm seeing, Penny, which maybe and hopefully will help your lovely friend. So I'm seeing a young man. I don't see a child. I'm seeing a young man here who, this is a little bit confusing and complicated. So I'm going to say, after a brief situation, if I tell you that he passed suddenly, that's not quite right. I think something happened prior to his passing. But I do believe that at the end he went very quickly, very suddenly. I'm to tell your friend Penny that her son has his arms around her. He is with the angels and will be her her angel. He's asking her to please stop crying, but we know that she's not going to do that. But he's asking, please stop trying just enough. He's trying to make her aware of him. He's drawing as close to her as he possibly can, but her grief is stopping her from understanding just how close he is to her. This is a difficult one, Penny, because grief does act like a barrier. It acts like a shroud, and so our loved ones in the spirit world do have somewhat of a little bit more difficulty in being able to say, I'm here. So she may not feel him there, but can you tell her that he is there? Now, ordinarily, when we do this, I don't normally see the person that we're connecting with, because this is a show, we only have a certain amount of time here. But Grey Eagle will often say, be the voice of that person who's trying to communicate. But I am seeing a very a face full of love and full of laughter. I'm seeing a face which is I don't know, full of life. I can see him standing next to Grey Eagle, and he just would, please, if you could. He's as desperate, I think, to let his mother know that he's here, that he's survived. He's as desperate to do that as she is to hear from him. So if you could pass that message on, let us know if you understood any of this, Penny, because we always like to know that we're doing somewhat the right thing. So I really hope that helps you. Please let us know if you understand us. Chris.
All right. From Facebook, Violet's on saying,
excuse me. Sorry. One more thing. I missed it. I've been interrupted. So, you know, the spirit world takes precedence over everybody and everything. If you could also say that he loves her very much, not just her, but the family. So I think they are all in so much grief right now. So he wants to send his love. He's nodding at me furiously. So, okay. That's all. So sorry about that. Anyway, yes, Chris.
Okay, so Violet is on saying, hi, Rosemary, I hope you're well.
Hi, darling.
I have a rather odd question. I've often heard you talk about guides and the fact that why would you need one if you can't see or hear them? I've also listened to you speak of guardian angels, and I'm assuming we all have one. However, my question is inspired by finding a bunch of my childhood books this week.
Oh.
Fairy godmothers. Could there be such a thing?
Without a doubt. Hi, Violet. Yes. You know, I know that this sounds crazy when I tell people this, and I know that people think I'm crazy anyway, without the added extra of fairies, the little folk, as we call them, leprechauns, gnomes, elves, and so on and so forth, and we most of us, we do grow out of those ideas, don't we, as we get older. But I'm sorry, but I believe, and I do believe that maybe my grandmother, she would be my grandmother Eliza, who passed when she was very young. And I do believe that she's somewhere around wanting to play the role of godmother for me. I hope you enjoy the books, Violet. I just want to mention I received a parcel yesterday. There's nothing weird or funny on the parcel. It's just a brown parcel. Should I open it now? Or should I open it before my birthday or not? I don't even know what it is, or if it is a birthday gift. Just mentioning that. Anyway, but yes, I do believe that we have those magical people in our lives. Let's put it that way. And I think that my grandma Eliza might like to be my godmother, my fairy, my very fairy godmother. I do believe that. Yes. How about that, Chris?
Mark is asking.
We're going into the weird realms of fantasy, or are we?
That is the big question.
It is.
Mark's asking for healing for Andy, who has been diagnosed with incurable myeloma. He's 53 with a wife and two 10-year-old daughters.
Okay, got it. We shall definitely put him on the healing list, Mark. Thank you for that.
He's also wondering, when he retires next year, his dog Gage is getting up there in age and having health issues. And he wants to know if Gage will be around for this tour when he retires.
We're not going to go there, Mark, but we will put Gage on the healing list. Absolutely, we'll be sending him healing too.
All right, Maggie's saying, I'm planning on the hard scraping and watching the sun pattern to see what plants would work here. So we're back to how you started the show about planting the garden.
Okay. Well, good. Thanks, Maggie. Thanks for sharing that. I don't know what the heart scraping is. Are you sure she doesn't mean landscaping?
I don't know. That's the words they've typed in the
Hey, Maggie,
chat room.
maybe you could help us understand a bit more. Okay.
Barb says, so now I'd like to see your little bit of heaven inside and out. A little tour would be lovely.
Well, I have to go out and deadhead. I'm sure most of you understand that. I've got to take the old flowers off. Now, when I've done that, when you deadhead, it gives the new blooms a chance to sort of, grow a little better. And I thought that I might make a little film of it all and show you my lovely blooms in bloom. But I need to deadhead them before I do that, because there are a lot of deadheads on. The problem is, you see, it's my back. Even if I lean over just slightly, I can only do so much of it before my back is screaming at me, don't do this, don't do this. But I'll try again this afternoon to do some more deadheading and maybe give you a little. I'll make a little movie for you, and providing my back holds up, I'll make a little movie for you and show you what's what.
All right. Eric is answering the question about what someone did when he was grieving loss. So he says, someone listened, sincerely listened, and offered condolences and was a true friend. The worst part, or the worst thing someone did, was totally ignoring me, and swept up in their own selfish lives, then bemoaning how awful circumstances were with them.
Yeah, well, but I'm so pleased that you had that someone actually listen to you, because that is so important, Mark. So thank you for sharing that. Chris,
Helen says, for me, I'd rather have people just do something nice after the loss of a loved one, rather than say, let me know what you need.
Oh,
We are too out of it to think. Just maybe leave a fruit basket or something. Sometimes you don't want to be social.
yeah, I think that so many people let themselves off the hook by saying, "Oh, if you need anything, let me know," because the truth of the matter is, we all know, and even those of us who say, "If you need something, let me know," they absolutely know that you are not going to let them know. So it's a kind of, well, I did my bit. I did tell her or him, to let me know, but hey, I've not heard from them. It's a cop out. It is. And even when you're doing it, it's a cop out. So instead of saying, "Oh, let me know if you can do anything," or "Please let me know if I can help you in any way," most people are too proud to go, and most people are too traumatized to go say, "I need your help." So the people who you can rely on are the people who might bring a bunch of flowers. You can leave them outside someone's door, uh, send them a text message or something. Hey, there's a bunch of flowers outside your door, or take a pie, an apple pie, or a fruit basket, as somebody suggested. And if you can't do that, just go knock on the door and say, "I didn't know if you would be up for a visit. Uh, I'm just next door. Here I am. Can I do anything to help you today?" I had a fabulous neighbor who was in her early 90s. And every time I went shopping, I'd just go knock on the door and say, "I'm off to the grocery store. Can I get anything for you?" She'd always, always find something for me to fetch, because she always wanted me to come back and say, "Here you go." She wanted the company. It wasn't about the bottle of milk she wanted. It wasn't about the loaf of bread. It wasn't about any of that. It was about needing the company. So sometimes it's just about the company. And sometimes just going and knocking on the door, even if you just, don't have anything to bring with you, you can just simply say, "I've just come to check on you. Are you okay?" And if they say, "Yes, but I'm tired, I'm going to bed," then you move gracefully out. You say, "Okay, I'll come back and check on you in a day or two." And that's what you do. You go and knock on the door and you say, "Are you okay? Don't know if you want any company, but I'm here. If you need anything, I'm here." Okay, Chris.
Violet wants to know if the soul signs of the healer and the patient are the same energy group. Is the healing more powerful?
You mean if the healer and the patient are this? No, I don't think so. But there are healers. I always say there are healers for people. There are people that we respond to better than others, and that does have to do with energy. I'm not sure that it makes it stronger, but it does perhaps in some ways make it more compatible. If not, if they're the same, but if they are compatible energies. For instance, if an earth sign um, is given healing by another earth sign, well, it can be perfect or it can clash, because earth signs, everybody wants to be the chief. And I tell people I'm an earth sign, and when people come into my uh, arena, I say, "Nah, I'm the chief." There's no argument, I'm the chief. But if an earth sign were given healing by a water sign, for instance, water signs feed earth signs. So the energy is so very, very compatible and so much more, sort of just beautiful. If a fire sign and an air sign, one is the patient, one is the healer, that can also work really well together as well, because they're very compatible in their energies. So, it depends. But I like the question, Vaz. I like the way you're thinking here.
Bet is saying, I really like reviewing books on my Facebook profile. They are very appreciated by the writers. Could it become something more than a hobby?
Well, let me see, Better. Depends. Are you able to put in the time, the effort, and the energy? And if so, of course. Why wouldn't you be a reviewer? Chris?
Karen says, hello, Rosemary. You look beautiful as always.
Oh, thank you.
I had a wonderful experience yesterday. While relaxing and looking at the sky, I watched a cloud morph into the face of a dog, Angel, who recently died. Then
Ooh.
amazingly, it morphed into the faces of my other two dogs that have passed.
Oh, nice.
I took it as a sign they were stopping in to express their love.
Absolutely. And you were obviously in that very open, relaxed state. Thank you so much for sharing that, my darling. Sounds like a great, great experience. It reminds me of that the poem by William Wordsworth, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. You know that one, Chris?
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
Um, it's also it's a beautiful poem. The poem is called Daffodils. It's a perfect for this time of year. I'm sure that in England there are daffodils filling the gardens everywhere, daffodils and tulips and all of that stuff. And I so miss England at that time of year. But it's one of my very favourite poems, and uh, yeah, he talks about this, and it has been put to music. There are two different versions that I know of, and of course, I like my version better. In the choir in the choir at school when I was a kid, we used to sing that beautiful song.
Sarah says a few years back you advised me to let the parents of a friend who passed know she's okay.
Right.
The parents told me their religion believes in letting the dead rest in peace,
Oops.
and any message was against their religion.
Okay.
Do you think I planted a seed in their minds?
I think that if you were asked to share with the parents, there is a reason why. We may not see the reason, and we certainly do not want to interfere with anybody else's beliefs or belief systems. We do not want to argue against other people's belief systems, but whether you believe or not, they're, your loved ones in the spirit world are still there. So it may well be that at some point, when you know, and we don't see this, at some point in their lives after you told them this, that it will certainly help one, if not both of them, in some way or another. It will at some point bring them comfort.
Michael says, so great to see you. For many years, I have wanted to complete my degree. I am now 37 years old. A part of me felt as though I am too old to enter corporate America, but a good friend of mine reassured me that it's not too late to finish what I started so many years ago,
I
and I'm
like this
even
good friend.
doing I'm even doing a certification along with my degree.
Brilliant.
Thank you for continuing to shed light into the world.
Oh, Michael, thank you so much. And I'm so excited for you because this is sort of a next stage, whole new beginnings, and it's spring. So we're looking forward to new beginnings, new hope, new joy. For there are so many people out there who are uncertain or unsure of their own abilities, and thinking that you're too old. I know people who are in their 50s and 60s who are starting some sort of college dissertation or experience, or sort of even you know going for something completely new and different that they ever tried before. You are never too old to live your life. Michael, I'm so excited for you. Please let us know from time to time how you're doing, would you?
Annika says, it's sometimes hard for others to respond to someone who lost a loved one. I made a post on Facebook to not be afraid to speak Neil's name and to talk about him.
Yes, I think that there are people who are so afraid. First of all, death is it's not easy for anybody. But when when you see the distress and the pain of those people who are going through grief of one kind or another, it can actually freeze you into non-action. And I do get that, because any kind of trauma like this reminds us of our own vulnerability. And many of us just love to bury our heads in the sand and pretend that it's never going to happen to us. And you don't want to face it, because what if it does happen to, what if it happens to me? What if that actually does happen to me? So it's, so I do understand why people are afraid. They're afraid to talk to someone who's grieving, or they're afraid they don't know what to say. But I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to say. So you go to the person who you know is grieving, whether you know them or whether you don't know them, or whether you know them slightly, and you just touch them lightly on the arm and say, "Excuse me, I heard about what you're going through, and I just want you to know that I'm so sorry for your loss, and if there's any way that I can help you, even if I don't know you very well, please, I'm just around the corner, or I just want to say that I'm sending prayers for you," or anything, small thing like that. Doesn't matter that you don't know what to say. Just go up and say, "I'm so sorry for your loss." That's it, because that's what people are looking to be recognized, and to be noticed, and for their grief to be noticed as well. Chris.
Joanne is responding to Michael saying, I would like to tell Michael that I got a degree when I was 50.
Oh,
I,
good.
and then I got a promotion at work a year after that.
Yay. You see, it can be done, Michael. You're just a baby.
Priyanka says, I am looking forward to the birthday party with you and my father, who will join us from the spirit world.
Me too. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I should be cooking. If I can find it, it's not easy to find. I'm going to be making a rack of lamb for my birthday. It's one of my favorites. But it's also the favorite of a few friends. And, well, Chris, what do you think to my rack of lamb? You don't like it, do you?
I've never been a lamb fan. I think of the fluffy little cute little thing, and I just can't get past that.
Oh, you mean the chicken you eat? You don't think of those fluffy little yellow chicks that are about?
I actually eat very little meat,
Oh,
surprisingly enough. I'm more of a fish person, but
well,
either still, fish feel it. Yeah.
me too. And I might actually make a fish dish and a meat dish. If I can find the rack of lamb, I'm going to definitely make rack of lamb, because it's delicious cold to take on the beach. And my friend Karen is coming next week, so we could be doing that. And I might make a fish dish as well, because if you don't eat meat, fish is always a good substitute. So you never know. But that's what we're going to be doing, right, Chris? And
Absolutely.
having a party.
So Priyanka had continued saying, I live in Germany and want to decide if I should move back to India. There are a lot of factors to consider. Can you guide how can I seek guidance from spirit world and my father? And do you have any message from Papa on what to do?
Well, you need to listen. That's always that's always really helpful, darling. Listen to those in the spirit world. Just take time out, even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes of every day, to sit quietly and take the time out to either to hear or to be inspired. Listen to your thoughts. Listen to every one of your senses. That's how you can do that. Other than that, you need to find somebody who's really good at problem solving, who can help you decide if this is the right thing to do or not the right thing to do. We don't have time on this show, unfortunately, to go into the details of whether or not you should move. So I'm not going to even go there and do that, because the last thing I want is to lead you astray, is to say the wrong thing when I don't have the time to listen clearly or properly. But I'm sure that if you allow yourself, you can be guided by your father, and just listen to your thoughts and listen to your instincts and follow your heart, whatever else.
So Rosemary, we're right at time, and I just want to remind people that obviously Saturday story times at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But then on Monday the 9th at 10 a.m., we're going to be doing a Healing Hands Around the World.
Yes,
And of
we are.
course, we have some off the cuffs coming up.
Well, we're going to try and do an off the cuff tonight, if we can get off the cuff enough to do it. But Chris, I know you've got stuff going on tonight, so we'll try to do it, but if we don't, we don't. But what's happening tomorrow? Isn't something happening tomorrow? No? Am I wrong, Chris?
We're going to try to get together with the students tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, only students only invited. I'm sorry, guys. I knew that something was going on, but maybe tomorrow at some point, if we don't do an off the cuff tonight, maybe tomorrow we'll do an off the cuff. So we'll just play it by ear and see how that works out. Of course, there'll be story time. Will be let me see. I have to pick Karen up from the airport on Thursday. Do I? No. Whenever it is the 13th. I'm lost. We'll be doing all sorts of things. If you want to know what we're doing, please go to my website, rosemaryaltea.com. There'll be a calendar there. You'll be able to check the calendar. You'll be able to see all of the other stuff that we're going to be doing this month. And you might say, yeah, well, come on then, get on with it. Well, we are doing our best to get on with it, which is why we're doing an off the cuff where you'll be able to answer, but we'll be able to ask more questions and go more in depth. I don't know if we heard from the young lady I gave the message to, Chris, as to whether she understood the message or not, but we'll be checking on that later as well. In the meantime, everybody, thank you so much for joining us once again. How the time flies, isn't it, when you're having fun? If you have a problem, if you have an issue and you would like some help and guidance with that, or you would like for me to try to solve it for you, check out Instagram, check out LinkedIn, check out all of those places where we usually are, and we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, until I see you all again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Chris, for doing a great job once again. Thank you especially to Great Eagle, who's always here with me, thank goodness, and was able to help me with that lovely message today. And until I see you again, everybody, please, please, please have a very blessed rest of the day. Bye-bye.